because this label of God has so much baggage, societal baggage attached to it. Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again here on another wonderful day, a beautiful moment. I've been thinking again, like one of our friends reached out to me, and I used, oh goodness, I think something tried to nest inside of this pen. No, 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 no. I do not think so. That is cannabis. Someone used my pen to clean their pipe, and I can guarantee you it wasn't me. So the reason I know it wasn't me is because I left a little bud on this table, and I found this little bud in pieces on the said table, no longer in its completeness, if you will. And I was like, someone probably smoked it, but I wasn't sure. And then I try and use my pen, and there is freaking smoke gunk in it. Who do you think it is? $10? Like, the weirdest part about it, the most likely candidate is gonna be my dad. It's not gonna be one of my brothers. It might be one of my brothers, but it's probably my dad. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's so nice to have you here lurking for truth. My friend Aaron, thank you for joining us, dude. I was legitimately thinking about you last night. I was actually, before I went to bed, I was thinking about you, thinking about Marissa, thinking about your battles with stopping smoking, your, I want to call it your brush with death, even though it might not have been direct, it might be someone else's existential dread. But I was thinking about you so much, my friend, and then, like, just before. Am I gonna give away a secret? Okay, so before I get dressed, I make sure that I'm not putting on a shirt that I've worn recently. So I go and I check the old videos and I make sure that I'm wearing a shirt that I wore like a week ago. I saw your comment and it was just, again, you being loving. Aaron was like, even though the footage is unusable because I was talking yesterday about the wind noise, I'm still getting value out of it, dude. And you have no idea how warm that message made my heart. Thank you, my beloved friend. I love you, dude. Sending you so many good vibes. Yader and Jovan. I see you have the other account again, Jovan. Mammy sends her love. She says she'll be here in a spirit. Thank you. In spirit, I'm guessing. I appreciate you letting me know, Jovan. Thank you so much. Happy Heritage Bride Day, my guy. Gob, I saw your message on the Discord as well, but I was legit like getting ready or finishing getting ready, if you will. So I was setting everything up and I getting here, and I was just thinking to myself the fact that it's Heritage Day / Bride Day here in South Africa, and I also found out it is Bride Day / Heritage Day in South Africa. I was like, oh, this is news. Yay, I guess. We are going to braai a little bit tonight. And my dad is like, oh yeah, we can, braai as much as you want. You can braai all of the meat if you want to. I'm like, we can if we want to, but we won't even if we want to. And it's like, well, if you really want to, you can sit for hours and keep braaiing things. And I was like, no, I'm quite alright, thank you very much. Yetter says, who else has been smoking the dacha there? I think it was my dad, dude. I genuinely believe it was my dad. Like, I am 95% sure. I'll let you friends know what I know, because I'm curious now as well. Yay, my favorite, happy, friendly, positive streamer. I should probably just clock out of work now, because I know I'm going to be very productive. Melly, like, I'm feeling mildly bad. Like, the part of myself that's the rebel, that's like sticking it to the man, is like, yeah, Melly, stick it to that, stick it to your boss. And then the part of myself that's goody two shoes is like, no, you have to be super good. Please do not distract yourself. I just appreciate your presence, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing your love with us as well. Feeling crappy today. Still came here for a bit before going to nature. Rena, Melita, my friend. I love you. I genuinely love you. Man, like I've been going through so many things as of late. Been thinking about a lot of things as of late, and I've been just so grateful for you, friends. Genuinely, Melita, thank you, my friend. It's okay to go through crappy days, good days. Know that you're loved, know that you're appreciated. I hope your little walk in nature goes very well. Like, Melita has access, if you will, to like what looks like rainforest-esque vibes, where she can just kind of go, smoke some bud, read a book in the middle of nature. Not envious, not jealous, just so happy for you that you get to have that, my friend. It's absolutely beautiful. You're so welcome. Love you too. And you as well. Day 40! No cigarettes and no nicotine patches for a few weeks too. Hot diggity damn, Aaron, goodness. Man, like I feel like there is this opportunity for me to take a sly. To be like, how dare you, Aaron? How dare you go 40 days without, telling me. It's been so long since I've known. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Genuinely, congratulations. That sounds amazing. I hope it sticks. I mean, 40 days means you've broken the habit, right? And that you're no longer using the nicotine patches for a few weeks now as well. It's fantastic, my friend. I'm so proud of you. Sending you some positive vibes, friend. Hope to help lift the spirits a little for you. Thank you, Yater, for doing the same, my friend. Day 40. Yo, Aaron, that's way awesome. Congrats, right? Thank you, Jovan, for letting him know as well. Mariah is here as well. Good morning to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? How's the kids, Mariah? If you have vacation time, take some of that, lol. Civil disobedience for the win. Yes. I'm happy Ninja Banana is on the same train as me. He's like, yeah. Stick it to the system. Thank you for joining me, friend. Genuinely. Good morning to you. Instant tears creep up as the love is expressed. You are so loved. Genuinely, Melita. Like, cry those happy tears. Cry the sad tears as well. We're here. We're here. Now I wanna use that feeling that I just had as my intention. What is that feeling? Togetherness. Again, I mean, yesterday's was unity, so togetherness is a little bit on the nose when it comes to using the same ones. Maybe. Is it compassion? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. We'll be taking sips for compassion. Tastes good. That is so awesome. I'm a former smoker and quitting that was hard. Goodness, like smoking cigarettes. It's not that great. And I was reading this thing about addiction and it was really fascinating to me because they were going into talking about cigarettes and how cigarettes work, or the addiction method of cigarettes work in such a weird way where it is both the cause and the fix to anxiety that you basically start generating within yourself. When you don't have the cigarette, the withdrawal of it basically makes your heart race, makes you like sweat a little bit, and in doing so, it creates this sense of anxiety within you. Then smoking the actual cigarette gives you that head rush, which to me, it doesn't give me anxiety, but it gives me the feeling of discombobulation, and that could lead to even more anxiety. And then it becomes this cycle of trying to soothe this anxiety and then having the anxiety get reintroduced by the very thing that it is you're doing. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. Like cigarettes and alcohol, if they had to undergo the same testing that, for instance, psilocybin or weed has to now go through, with the FDA to prove whether or not it's bad for us, wouldn't even, get a stick to be able to touch approval. Alcohol and cigarettes, the things that we use the most prolific, are some of the worst drugs that you can possibly consume. And it's so backwards. It's like, what? I mean, even though I just said that, I understand completely why. Because alcohol and cigarettes, both of those drugs are things that you consume in excess. Like, you don't just drink a single beer, smoke a single cigarette in the night, and then you're like, okay, I'm satisfied, let's vibe. No. If you're drinking or smoking cigarettes, it's usually a hand-in-hand thing. You're never stopping. You're smoking, and then you're drinking, and then you're drinking, and then you start smoking because you're drinking, where, like with weed or mushrooms or something, you take a single dose, like an edible, you smoke a single joint, you take a single mushroom, and then you're like waxed, you're done. Now you don't have to take anything else, you don't have to consume more. The problem to me, and the thing that bothers me more, rather, is the fact that we know these things, or at least I feel more of us are starting to know these things, and yet it's still there is this disconnect. Maybe it's because a lot of people aren't educating themselves as much as they could be, or after they have been miseducated or misinformed about these things, they kind of just accept that as face value. I know we've talked about this before, but the propensity for people to become so attached to something they've believed in for so long, and doubling down of their attachment to it when they realize they might be wrong, because in accepting they were wrong, or accepting they are wrong, they also have to accept that they were wrong, for X amount of years prior to them coming to that conclusion. And that, is like an instant call out to the ego. It's like, yeah, bitch, you don't know anything. You haven't known anything ever. And people don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The mom belt, the radio told me it was Heritage Day this morning in South Africa, and that y'all love to barbecue on this day. I thought of you naturally. That's... Hello? Can you see them? Yeah, you can, actually. Hello, Cobra Chickens. Can you give me some peace and quiet? Okay, that sounds like a nod to me. I'm gonna trust. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh yeah, it's Heritage Day in South Africa. What do those South Africans do? Oh, they braai. They just braai a lot. We do like braaiing, so I mean, I can't hate too much on it, I guess. You are loved very much, absolutely. Thank you, Erin. Great idea. Heart palpitations, knowing you're feeling feels. Heart palpitations. I experienced something very interesting over the last week, where my actual physical heart was in pain. Like, it wasn't just, my heart hurts. It was like a very visceral, physical pain sensation emanating from my chest. The heart very much is a feeling organ. Like, I wouldn't be told any otherwise ever again. You are connected more than we think. Funny to hear it on the radio and Texas about South Africa. Love seeing connections like this. You were perfectly in tune, Gob. Like, what are the odds of them saying something like that in America on the radio channel that you happen to be tuned in to, and you happen to be on the road while they were broadcasting this, and you happen to be on that specific channel while they were, and you happen to know someone that lives in... I can keep going. Thank you, dude. I appreciate your love, man. Genuinely, Gob. Hey, Edmund is here as well. Hello to you, dude. How are you feeling, Edmund? How did it was Monday now, but how has your anniversary been? I hope things went well. Thank you, and congrats to you as well for also being a former smoker. Perfectly put. Thank you, Aaron, for doing the same, my friend. Empathy and compassion. World needs more of both right now. You're completely right, Navita. Navitia. The craziest part about it is the fact that we are, each and every single one of us, are an infinite source to that compassion and empathy. But it's hard to keep that tap completely open all the time. And I don't think we should expect ourselves to keep that tap completely open all the time. I think more so than ever, it's important for us to be in numbers, trying to bring empathy and compassion into the world, because not everyone all the time will be able to do so. So the more of us there are, the more of us there will be to bring love and light into this world, empathy and compassion into this world. Like, I'm thinking, like, I have Cable in my head now. Every time I want to say the word responsibility, I hear Cable being like, no, don't say responsibility. But I do genuinely feel like it's this calling, a responsibility to try and make this world a better place. Thinking about Gare Bear as well now, he sent me this meme of this beautiful like rainforest. Like I think it was like this beautiful rainforest, and then it zooms in on this pond in the middle of this rainforest, and then it zooms in, and then you see this little fish silhouette on the water, and then it has a picture of the actual fish, and above the little fish there's this little, text bubble, and the little fish says, "I'm gonna change the world." And it made me feel so liberated and so small at the same time, because I recognized it. I was like, yeah, that is kind of what it feels like sometimes, even though it's even smaller. It's way smaller. I love you, friends. Thank you for doing this with me. That's all I can say. Former smoker, current superhero. Ah, yes. Oh, I love that. You are a superhero. Damn it. And I'm mixing my bud with tobacco as a standard European that I am. Don't smoke tobacco otherwise. But if I try to smoke bud alone, I just feel like something is missing. Yeah, nicotine is missing. So the thing is, at least the thing I believe about smoking weed and nicotine together, I've also done it, and I also did kind of enjoy it, but again, it had that stimulating effect, like where I don't really think of weed as a stimulant. Maybe in some ways it can be. Like, not a hyperactive stimulant. It might be an influence, but not a stimulant, where nicotine very much is a stimulant. So if you do them together, you get the stimulating effect from the nicotine and also the high from the weed together. So because it's an addiction now, Melita, I'm sorry to say. And I heard that it's very common, in Europe to mix your bud with some tobacco. It's not something we do at all here in South Africa, really. Unless you don't have a lot of bud. That is usually the practice. If you don't have access to a lot of weed, or you're gonna run out soon, then mixing with tobacco is a big practice as well. But I'm guessing that's probably why people in Europe do it as well. Weed still being mildly not legal. Jojo. I may still smoke, but not tobacco. Makes me think of the question, like, do you smoke? And the answer is also, smoke what? You have to specify. Because I'll admit to smoking, but you have to be very specific about what I'm going to admit to. I too am a former cigarette smoker, coming up on 2 years being quit for good. I'm so happy to hear that as well, Gob. How many of you friends have quit smoking? Man, it's so freaking hot today. Can I show you? Unfortunately not. I mean, I'm like soaking wet in sweat. Oh goodness. And it's like only the turning of the seasons. I'm gonna be melting. Oh goodness, yeah, definitely. Ooh. Uncrossing my legs and having the breeze kind of cool me down. It's very nice right now. Glad I gave up tobacco years ago. Anyone that has been down that path and kicked the habit, cheers to you. It's such a trap with very little value. Cheers to every single one of you friends. Cheers to, breaking the addictions that we don't think of as addictions sometimes. The thought patterns we become addicted to even. Melt, smoke a joint, eat a mushroom and you're good. You don't need more. Ninja eats another mushroom while smoking more joints. Yeah, you can, Ninja, but mushrooms also have the effect of building instant tolerance. Oh goodness, the noise. Like you don't have the ability. Like if you eat 1 gram of mushrooms right now and you wait 3 hours and you eat another gram of mushrooms, it's basically gonna do nothing to you. So it has this built-in abusive nature to it. Like you cannot abuse it, even if you wanted to. Where alcohol, very much encourages you to continue abusing it because it becomes a concentration thing. You reach a certain blood alcohol concentration and then your brain is just constantly in that state of, what the fuck? And then you just keep drunk. You stay drunk. I quit cigarettes with an e-cig probably 6 to 7 years ago and was able to kick the e-cig by using CBD probably 2 to 3 years ago. Now it's nothing but cannabis. I tip the hat to us cannabis only smokers. I'm so happy to hear that, Edmund. Congrats, so awesome. Only the tacha. Yes, Yader. I mean, it's still not ideal, but at least we're not smoking tobacco, right? Yeah. Weighing our options. Moose, I appreciate the all-seeing upvote. Thank you for your love, my friend. Yahoo! I was just talking to my friend about this. I get the pain when I feel heartbroken, but also the opposite. It's a similar feeling when I am lovingly elevated. Anyone else? I'm feeling into that as well. For me, it's this warmth almost, this emanating warmth when it's love, where it's this contracting pain when it's pain or loss, I guess. Completely feel that. I take struggle and pain as given. Rip Roach, struggle and pain, taking them as given maybe would be a good thing to do. Like, my question is, what do you take as given? Day 267, what do you take as given? And this friend, Rip Roach, takes pain and suffering as given, or struggle and pain, as given. I mean, the way I'm interpreting that message could be seen in a negative, like, error, it's like just pain and struggle is given. But another way to be like looking at it, if you will, is to look at it from the perspective that, yeah, sure, it is given, but so is everything else. You know, and seeing it as a given in a way that you can accept it, not in a way that you're trying to deny its existence or escape its existence. Like it's a sensation that starts at my arm and runs down my arms. Makes me think of something I did today. I was like laying in the grass. I wasn't looking at the sun. I had like a scarf over my eyes, but I was pointing my face towards the sun. And with my arms out, like I think there is some sort of like blood being cut off, circulation being cut off when I have my arms directly next to me. And you know that those pins and needles feelings? And I was thinking to myself, like, am I inducing this intentionally? Or why do I enjoy this feeling? And it was almost that feeling of the tingling sensation as you're talking about. But I don't exactly have the tingling sensation, I can't say actually. Oh, airborne army guy. Tip of the hat to you, and thank you for the upvote, my friend. I appreciate your love. How are you doing? How's the family? The anniversary was good. We got each other some gifts and had dinner and a quiet evening at home. Sounds blessed. Sounds so blessed, Edmund. Thank you for sharing with me, my friend. Perhaps a duty rather than a responsibility. I mean, duty still has the same tinge of it's something that has to be done. When the ideal way to incorporate, if you will, would be nothing has to be done, everything gets to be done. So maybe honor. Instead of duty or responsibility, it's our honor to bring compassion and empathy into the world. Angela, thank you for the helpful, my friend. And Dragonborn Arco is here as well. So great to see you this morning. I feel blessed being able to join you again. And we're blessed to have you here as well, Dragonborn. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I was actually thinking about you today, dude. How far, like if far is the right word, how long until you have your results, my friend? I've been thinking about that. I'm feeling alright this morning. My aunt's in town this weekend from New Hampshire. First time I'll be seeing her since a little while before COVID hit. Oh goodness. We're officially going on year 2 of COVID, right? Yeah. Very soon. Goodness. South Africa has one of the lowest vaccination rates. I think something like 13% of our population is vaccinated. Like, a lot of people make jokes about the massive anti-vax community in America. I think South Africa's is bigger, unfortunately. Everyone, Angela, it's nice to have you here, my friend. How are you doing? We have Lane as well. Hey, my dude, how are you, dude? Ooh, there's an Indian lady walking around naked because you're wearing her clothes. I mean, I'm sure Indian lady would have another set of clothes. I think if she's walking around naked, it's out of her own volition, and we support her in that nonetheless. Happy Friday to you, Lane. Absolutely. Cannabis is both a stimulant as well as a depressant slash suppressant. I can stimulate your appetite while suppressing inflammation. Okay, Ninja coming in with the facts. Yeah, you're right. You're completely right. Hmm. That's curious. So, when my dad had COVID, he actually would use cannabis to help him breathe. Where, and I'm not recommending this as, a remedy, I'm just sharing what he went through. Like, he had a very hard time breathing, where he would have shallow breathing, is like what he would say. So, like, and not being able to go any farther than that. And then he would smoke like a single puff of weed. He would inhale that smoke, and then that smoke would almost like burn his lungs or something. He would exhale, and then afterwards he would be able to take a full breath in, and it like genuinely helped him get through it as well. I'm not sure if there is discomfort in your lungs when you're experiencing like hard of breathing. When you are hard of breathing, I'm not sure if it's this if that you feel any discomfort in your lungs, but it was something that helped him. I'm just thinking about the potential like pain suppressant on top of the inflammation suppressant. Like if his lungs were inflamed or swollen as a result of this, virus, would something like that being anti-inflammatory and potentially pain suppressing help him? Is that why it helped? I'm curious now. Heavily distorted guitar chords, sustain, and Lane jumps in. I tried. I tried. Hey, Lane. Someone asked if I smoke, and I say it depends. It depends what the occasion is, what it is we're smoking. Yo, so rad. It really is. It really is. I'm so happy that you stopped smoking as well, Gob. Metal is not an addiction. I can stop anytime. I just don't want to. Yeah, it's the want. Man, you're really actually bringing something to my mind now. Like, you friends know that we plan on going for Sober October, and I feel like maybe in some ways it was something I didn't want to do, and now that you're bringing that to my attention, I'm realizing that that is exactly how I'm gonna do it. It's just with the want to do it, not with a I have to do it, with a I want to do it. There's such a difference in that energy, and it's a choice. Wearing clothes like yours is an addition. Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating the clothes, my friends. The noise isn't too bad. Thank you. I appreciate that as well, Edmund. Fortunately, it is gone now. Addicted to flower patterns. They can be quite nice, Fox. I mean, what can I say, dude? Day 267 of NoFap. Unfortunately, not, my friend. I think I would have ceased to exist on this plane of existence. I would have transcended, floating out of it. I'm joking. I agreed, but the YouTube friends, yeah, the YouTube friends are still gonna be suffering, unfortunately, and I would not be able to use that footage as well. But that is okay. Sativa is hands down a stimulant. I'd tread carefully as tobacco and marijuana mixed can be quite taxing on your cardiovascular system. It's your life though, man. You do you. You're not trying to preach or anything, but always sending good vibes always. Thank you. Watching Death. I agree completely with you, my friend. I'm not like a tobacco smoker myself. I appreciate you. What's the word? Encouraging? No. Discouraging? Yeah, I guess. Discouraging that I smoke tobacco. I agree completely with you, my friend. It is not something that serves you. I'm curious now, actually. So, like, obviously, inhaling weed smoke in its own won't be healthy. And inhaling tobacco smoke, we know, gives you lung cancer. Like, there are a lot, so a lot less cases with with weed smokers getting lung cancer versus tobacco smokers getting lung cancer. But I wonder if in smoking them together, they could be worse, for you overall, or because of weed's potential anti-inflammatory and pain and endocannabinoid responses on your lungs and your body, could it balance it out? I'm not saying that's the fact or that's how it is at all. I'm just curious if that's possible. Knowing they put sugar and tobacco as the only motivation for me trying to push it away completely. Melita does keto as well. Fortunately, you don't eat the tobacco, but carbonizing sugar. Yeah, right? Carbonizing, combusting sugar is also not really good for you. Definitely gonna get some carcinogenics in your lungs, unfortunately. Just family sounds, no worries. That was actually a tractor. Big old tractor. Moving some bags. But fortunately, they have been moved. We will see if Melt says that. Which one is that? For the YouTube friends, yeah. Been feeling that I'd rather not smoke anything, but not ready to give up joints just yet. Brings another thing that I've been thinking about as well. With this Sober October coming along, there is this feeling of inside of myself that is like worried that I won't be as fond of smoking joints as I am right now, because I do enjoy smoking a joint. I do enjoy the feeling, I do enjoy the ritual of rolling it, I do enjoy setting the intention. There's so much value to be gained from smoking this wonderful plant, and yet I very, very, very obviously recognize that it's not good for me, not in the long run. It's not good for my lungs. Maybe it's not something I have to worry about. Like, I was talking to the Gob about this as well, and just saying that if anything, it will become something that I do more socially. So probably still here in the stream and then with friends, but possibly not so much in my own time, if you will. We'll see. We'll see how things turn out. I'm talking out of my ass at the moment because I don't know. What's given can also be taken. Like everything, what's given and taken are two sides of the same coin. Duality, if you will. And within that duality is the singularity. Because as you're saying as well, two sides of the same coin. It's still one coin, one singularity, expressing itself through separation. And on that note, I actually do want to say something worth saying. We haven't gotten to. Ooh, this one is going to be intense. Oh goodness, it's very intense. Okay. So when I say that, and I know this is a trigger word for some people, when I say the word God, you can think of the universe. You can think of, Buddha if you want to. You can think of source. You can think of consciousness as you're experiencing it. You can think of the massive computer that renders our very existences. It does not matter. The underlying value is what is said and what is felt from it. Fear arises from the thought, I am alone, separated from my creator. Yet in reality, it is the creator perceiving... Whoa. It is the creator perceiving the creator and creating the perception that God is separate from God. Read it again. Fear arises from the thought, I am alone, separated from my creator. Yet in reality, it is the creator perceiving the creator and creating the perception that God is separate from God. This is so intense. Each particle of the whole, it says each particle of God holds the potential of the whole, including you, friend. You hold the potential of the whole, all of it. God pretending to be separate from God. And this can be so difficult for people to accept as well. And this is one of the biggest points of conjecture, if you will, that me and my dad reach. Because this is something I genuinely believe, that we are one with the word we say God, right? Because if we weren't, then I am somehow this singularity inside of something so much larger than myself. right? Like as soon as I in any way try and accept some sort of separateness from that source, from what's created, I would make myself even more divine, because there would be no way to separate yourself. There is no separation. We're a part of the whole, and the whole is a part of us, and we're a part of each other, and we get to share moments like these because of this togetherness. Man, it's so difficult to swap out the understanding. Like I'm thinking about my dad especially right now. Like the understanding that a lot of Christians hold, that they're this separate entity. They're this small thing, on planet Earth, and planet Earth is something this God created, and this God is there somewhere out there, far, far away, maybe even another dimension. And then if you do everything, perfectly well, then you'll be able to get closer to this God. You still won't be able to, genuinely understand, genuinely interact, genuinely perceive any part of this godness, but you can get closer to it. And then when you get close enough to it, this God is also going to be judging you, going to be weighing your entire life's deeds with a feather of righteousness. It's so backwards for me to try and assimilate that thinking, on top of holding the understanding that we are a part of this oneness. Imagine, just like a picture, being an all-powerful being, creating all of realities, creating multiple stacking dimensions. Like the way I think of dimensional stacking is like spheres going over spheres. So, and then each one of those spheres basically being a set of infinity, and then it just keeps going. And then within one, in my opinion, one of the limited sets of infinity, there are these beings who are limited sets of infinity within a larger set of limited infinity. And then if this limited infinity beings, doesn't do what you in your literal infinite of all infinite wisdoms, requires of you, like, how are we supposed to know? Like, even if we genuinely had the ability to know everything that God wanted us to do, I don't think we would be able to do it, because his scope of what is possible would literally be unfathomable to us. So how can there be judgment in the way that we're told it? He's literally the creator of all of it. And yet, yep, now you're gonna get judged because you did that one thing that one time, and now you're gonna be suffering for eternity. And then this, all under the vise of love. Like being like, yeah, I'm this eternal loving being, and now you're gonna suffer for the rest of your existence. No, I cannot. I will not. For every inhale and exhale. The duality reality. Oh yes. Bam, Baba Booey to you all. Baba Booey to you as well, famous jester. Thank you, my friend, for being here with us. Can't figure out your accent. It isn't quite South African. What is it? It's quite South African, but it's been brutalized a little bit by me moving around and stuff. You go with your gut. Yes, I'm South African, but I've been living in America for so long. Sometimes I can't tell. My mom is visiting family there right now and says it's refreshing to see everyone masked. It's refreshing to see people masked. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that sentence. It's refreshing in the way that at least people are wearing masks. Yes, sure. Yes, good. We're trying to contain this virus. But it's not a refreshing sight to just see a bunch of masked people. That's the way I feel about it. I hope your mom stays safe. Thank you for letting me know, Sam. I hope America treats you well, my friend. I know this is mildly out of poor taste to say, but I'm happy you got out of South Africa, dude. Genuinely. My new job is getting less stressful. Still feeling overwhelmed, but making good progress. I'm so happy to hear that, Dragonborn. Genuinely, my friend, that sounds amazing. It's gonna get better and better for you, and you're gonna get better and better at it as well. 1-2 versus have to is a 1-2 versus have to is a huge mental shift. Wanting to do something will set you up for success. I agree completely, Yater. 100%. Oh man, this actually makes me think now. Like these streams, these specific streams that I'm doing, is like one of those wanting to. Like these are definitely the streams that I want to do. And then sometimes I feel like I have to do another stream. It's been a very interesting contrast to notice it inside of myself. The want to versus have to mentality. Meltmore, you need a coffee mug that says the best. Salty. Hopefully one day, dude, you'll be the first buyer, dude. How about that? Thank you for the hugs. I appreciate you, Auntie. Genuinely, my friend. Love to you. Oh, goodness. Yash. I mean, it's been 7 minutes, so I'm not sure if you're still here, but love to you, dude. I hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for the all-seeing upvote, and for your all-seeing upvote as well, Uncle Becky, my beloved friend. Thank you, genuinely thank you. To you friends who don't know, I'm sure all of you do know, Uncle Becky is another streamer friend, as is Aunt B, and I'll see if there's any more friends also streamers. Kool-Aid Man breaks through the wall. Oh, yes! That's perfect, Jovan. Hi everyone. Hey Yash, we've missed you, my friend. Thank you for joining us again. The almighty content creator. Goodness. With the whole, I love you, Uncle Becky. Thank you, my friend, for sharing your love. Thank you for the helpful Colby Jacked. I appreciate that as well. Good to see you, my dude. Hope all is well with you. Spy, love to you as well. We are one. Absolutely. Waiting to experience God until we die is such a lie. Experiencing God within you today. God is there in all of us. Perfect, Yater. God is there within all of us. God is here within all of us. Like it's so, and the reason I think maybe this is the reason why I want to set these disclaimers before I use the word God sometimes, is because, you know, having been an atheist myself, the word God like created a very triggered feeling of inside of myself, where if someone was to acknowledge, like it was so bad at one point, where if I would sneeze and someone says bless you, I would get mildly triggered because I was like, I don't want your blessings. Don't bless me. Don't you dare bless me. And now I realize what, you know, that word actually means on a metaphysical level rather than a egoic level of understanding it. God, source, the universe, consciousness, spirit, soul, being. We are that. We are that, my friends. Well, 100%. I think that's the plot of the new Matrix, a recursive reality. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all, Yash. I've been seeing more and more content coming out with that intention almost, with these feelings of multidimensionality, be it Rick and Morty, Loki, the Midnight Gospel. So many good shows coming out that is like addressing. I think someone mentioned another show that also has to do with multidimensionality. I mean, Doctor Who has vibes of that as well. The whole Spider-Verse thing. More and more content is coming out, pushing human consciousness into this understanding that maybe, you know, just maybe, we're not the only thing here. This is not the only reality. We're not the only life. Like, if you understand even like slightly, and you understand the scale of the universe, and then you know, it's unfathomably stupid to say that it's impossible for there to be life, just because of the scale of it. And again, like time, oh goodness, time is such an element of life as well. Again, with those, as you were saying, recursive realities, you can technically collapse all of those recursive realities into a single reality in itself, right? Like a larger set of infinity. And then that set of infinity can also contain all of the realities, and in containing all of the realities, basically line them up to be in the single moment, no matter where they are. So imagine for a moment this entire universe's experience, life, supernovas, black holes consuming it, the inevitable heat death of it. collapsed into this moment. And that's where we are. And it's so quiet, and so calm, and it's so still, and yet it's none of those things. Oh goodness, so true. I remember. I love this reminder. The reminder of God is within us today. Thank you, indeed, Yater. I appreciate you, man. Meld, we are all one, all connected. Me thinking, the damn ether, the energy that binds all living things, the non-existent gaseous state that surrounds us all, can transfer energy from one to the next. Also, me. Anyone else want a toke? Ninja, I would love a toke right now. I actually came here with the intention of being sober today. I felt it was necessary somehow. I was like, yes, no smoking or eating edibles of any kinds. You're just going to be here. And I've said this before, but it's so weird how this space can induce a set of mind inside of myself that would be indicative of, taking psychedelics or smoking weed, even without needing it. And I don't see that going away. It's probably only going to get worse and worse. At some point, they'll just have complete open-eyed visuals. Whoa. When I'm streaming. Ethereum Aiden popping in a little late today. You're not late, my friend. You're here. Thank you. I appreciate your presence. I hope you're doing well, Aiden. How are you, my friend? If you're willing to share, you are right on time. Yes, you are. Just in time as Ninja Pineapple talks about the ether. Hey, Aiden, right? His name is Ethereum. But like Ethereum. Thank you for the silver. I appreciate that, Dragonborn. Oh, we have Bob here as well. Dear sweet baby God. Little infant Jesus, 9 pound, 8 pound. What, Bob? You're missing me, dude. I'm sure it's references, but you're completely missing me, unfortunately. I appreciate you being here, though. I was just thinking the same thing. Is Ethereum like Beetlejuice, where you mention the ether and you just knowingly pop in? Do you? I don't think you do. Like for the longest time, online username used to be Beetlegeese, and then it went to Meltmore. Like Beetlegeese was the very first online username I picked for myself when I played some sort of like arcade game on my dad's computer that had some sort of space theme. And I was asking him, like, what is a good space theme name? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what is one of the biggest stars we know? And he's like, the star called Beetlegeese. And me and my 6-year-old mind spelled it beetle, as in the bug, and then geese, as in the cobra chickens. Beetlegeese. Oh, Ethereum. A blessing doesn't have to be from God. I believe all of these same things we are talking about, only I don't use the word God. Same understanding, different labels essentially. I agree completely, Edmund. That's why I want to set that intention, forward every single time, is that you don't have to use that word. I think, again, as you're saying it as well, you're using a different word for it. Because this label of God has so much baggage, societal baggage attached to it. Because God, in the way that we use it in the Western sense, is very much attached to Christianity as well. I think so, at least in my mind, in the way that I was raised, it definitely has attachments to that. And that kind of belief system, that kind of word for God is this separate God, this thing that is so much larger than yourself and looking down on you judgefully, like the bad Santa, or just Santa Claus knows when you are sleeping. Freaking, oh man, yeah. I wanna make some jokes, but all of them are not in good taste, so I'd rather not. Not that there is anything wrong with that. I agree completely, Edmund. What word do you use, dude? I'm actually genuinely curious. What word do you use? If you say my name 3 times, I'm required to tripsit you. Oh, is that how it works? Ethereum heart, Ethereum heart, Ethereum heart. Good to know. Yes, I've unlocked myself a tripsit. I agree, Edmund. And like Mel said, God is very loaded. Yeah, word. It's too biased. Too biased to what people have told us God is. I agree completely, Yater. Maybe we should find a new word, dude. Maybe we should find a new word. Like, this is completely egoic, but I'm feeling like the molten, right? Like, if I'm trying to melt more, it indicates that I'm trying to reach that which is completely molten, completely consolidated, containing all, and yet bubbling in a way that some of it might get separated temporarily into it believing that it is separate as it falls back into it, melts more back into it. But you have to tell me what you think about that, friends. Labels are stables, and stables are for horses, my friends. I like that one so much, actually. That's perfect, Bob. Labels are for stables, and stables are for horses, my friend. I'm gonna use that one at some point. I wanna freaking cement it to my brain. Labels are stables, and stables are for horses, my friend. Yow! Drops mic, puts on, what do you call those hats? A bidet? No. Is it a bidet? I think so. Tip's hat, yes. Exactly, preconceived connotations and such. Exactly, Edmund. I couldn't agree more, man. Yes, I like that. Never heard it before. I'm stuck on the question of what is a blessing? Is it just a beneficial / enjoyable happening? So, oh man, it makes me think. It makes me genuinely think, because in that question, like, instantly within inside of myself comes up this feeling of, let's say someone was going to be in a car accident, right? They were driving on their way home, and then, a guy was going to run a red light and run straight into them, from the side. And then you're like on the phone with this person for a bit, and they sneeze, and you're like, oh, bless you. And then they hang up the phone eventually, and then they get a flat tire. And they're like, oh, universe, why? Why, universe? This freaking flat tire, it sucks. And then you pull off the road, and then whoo, that person runs the red light, and you fix your tire, and then you drive home, and you're like, oh man, freaking, I got home an hour late because my freaking flat tire, right? So who are we to say, Jovan? I don't think so. I don't think a blessing has to necessarily be something beneficial or enjoyable. Maybe something that would benefit you. Something that will let you be blessed. Again, it's the difference, at least in my opinion, between a mature and immature hope. Where immature hope is hope that things are going to be in a certain way. So the immature hope would be, I want to be home, I hope I'm home at exactly 5 p.m. Where the mature hope would be, I hope I get home safe. So depending on which hope you're holding on to, it is going to completely shape how you perceive that reality as well. So maybe in that same way, a blessing would be the mature hoping for someone else. What do you think about that, Jovan? Yeah, just the universe throwing you a bone sometimes. Yeah, maybe that's it as well, Edmund. Divine being. I actually do like divine being as well, Yater. Actually, let's see how it works. Let's see how it works. Fear arises from the thought, I am alone, separate from my divine being. Yet in reality, it is the divine being perceiving the creator and creating the perception that the divine being is separate from the divine being. Each particle of divine being holds the potential of the whole. It works. I think it works. Suffering and heartache could actuality be a blessing, in my opinion, because it creates our character. On B coming in with the same mindset I was coming in with, perfectly put, my friend. To me, it's the result of harmony. That's a good point, Yash. A blessing can be seen as harmony. So maybe if you're thinking of blessing someone, you could imagine a harmonious life to them. Harmony, 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 harmony. That word doesn't actually make perfect sense to me, unfortunately. That it doesn't. Okay, so it does make sense to me in context of other people. It doesn't make sense to me in context of the singularity. Does it? Uh, I mean, I guess you could be at harmony with yourself. Would that be being at peace? I feel harmony is this, compassion and empathy for one another in a way that you respect one another to the point where you have beneficial or enjoyable life together. You live harmoniously. I guess you can reach a sense of or a level of harmony with inside of yourself as well. So I do think so. The Hinduism uses the self. Mm. I actually know about that one as well, Yater. But again, the self feels like I am trying to, in that way, trying to, associate myself, right? Like this self, the self. Just had flashbacks to the day we set our intention as the self, and it kicked my ass. I had like a little bit of a shiver for a second. Blessings in disguise, I say. I agree completely with you, on B. 100%, my friend. I've had a bunch of those blessings in disguise myself throughout life. You asked me that question, and I suppose I don't have a word I use in place of God. More a group of ideas and feelings than a single word, I guess. I agree completely. Higher self is the one I use a lot as well. Use a lot as well on B. It still has the same feelings, of trying to bring it too much to the individual when it's a collective again. Like for me, like as well, God is this thought. Like I have a very strange understanding of God. Again, there's a reason I think of it as the molten, because in this sets of infinity, universes inside of universes inside of universes, there's no point where it gets large enough to escape God, right? So all of it, everything, would be contained within my mind, within the sphere that would be God. And yet, that God sphere would be inside of a large, like, it just keeps going, okay? And if you collapse all of those things into a singularity, like, just imagine what amount of energy would be present if inside of that singularity sphere. And to me, that amount of energy just brings to my mind everything melting. Everything that is not pure melts away. And adding more pure to it melts it a part of itself. Not just a singular thing, but literally all universes, all dimensions, all of potential existence collapsed into a single point. Like most things, I prefer this to be subjective rather than defined, and typically circumstantial. Sometimes it's well wishes, other times it's trying to cram your soul back into your body as it tries to escape through a sneeze. I like that one, Ninja. Mm. Asking about or answer rather to the what is a blessing question. Very much circumstantial. I agree completely with that. Other times it's trying to cram your soul back into your body after a big sneeze. As soon as you say bless you, like you sneeze your entire soul out and then you say bless you, and then the soul goes back. Bob, a 10-gallon hat. I mean, I will never be able to look at cowboy hats in the same way. I think I watched like a Howard's Made video where they were making this really posh cowboy hat that has been like in production for 150 years or something like that. And then like they show a scene where the dude takes his hat, pours water into his hat with a bottle, and then gives water to his horse with his cowboy hat. And that just like blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, that is so cool. And then since then I wanted one of those as well. Uncle Becky, when is Brownie gonna get a drinking hat, if you will? My favorite word to use is the source. That's also one of my favorite, Aiden. But I change it up if another word fits better. We have so many words that mean similar but different things, so I always just try and change to fix the context. That's beautiful. I try and do the exact same thing, especially since, you know, obviously each and every single one of our conceptualizations of what God is going to be completely different. Ooh, man, I'm still holding on to what mine is, and the more I think about it, the more I realize how small a part I am of it. Like, I think of myself as very small, in the scale of this universe, but in that scale, multiple dimensions, all of existence, all of potential experience collapse into a single moment. I become even smaller, and yet here we are. I want to say I am, but here we are, still creating, still experiencing, still contributing to that. And if we weren't supposed to be here, if we weren't infinitely loved and valued, then we wouldn't be here. Oh, it's beautiful. Not being attached to this world, not being of this world, but being in it, immersed in it, if you will. A blessing in disguise, for example, would be an apparent bad thing is going to happen but results in something good that brings well-being instead. Uncle Becky had the exact same thought I had as well. But it's probably the wrong word. Could you use a blessing as something? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Could you argue a blessing is something you manifest for yourself? Ooh, so that is another touchy question. Good one, Edmund. Because initially, my feeling is that no, you can't manifest blessings for yourself. But maybe you could put yourself in a position where you would be worthy of blessing. So technically, yes, but also no. Maybe the reaction of the good slash positive energy set forward. Yeah, I think so as well. That's, again, you're creating conditions for yourself to be blessed. You're not creating the blessings within themselves, maybe, if you will. So maybe there's a little bit of blessing in everything. Yeah, I think so. Like this line, Jovan, this line. Each particle of source, the divine being, the self, divine mind, Buddha, the supercomputer, whatever word, holds the potential of the whole, each particle. So yeah, absolutely. Every little thing has a little bit of blessing within it as well. Probably doesn't even know it. Did I do a southern accent? Damn it, I was supposed to pay attention, teach myself how to do it on me. I'll have to tell you all in the Discord later. It is a story about a Chinese farmer. It's an old Zen parable. It tackles Zen perspectives on blessings. Please do, Aiden. I mean, you can tell us here as well if you'd be willing to, but, the Discord will be fine as well. Repetition brings insight, and after a while, you can predict results. Practice makes progress. Ooh, I actually like that more than practice makes perfect. Because it doesn't. It doesn't make perfect. You can practice as much as you want to. You'll never be perfect. But you will progress. Thank you, Uncle Becky. I've been holding on to the practice makes perfect cactus for so long. Drop it. Practice makes progress. Thank you. New puzzle piece acquired. I appreciate you, my friend. Precisely, or even the negative energy in some instances. You gotta check out the song Atmosphere. Sound is vibration. That it is. Sound quite literally is vibration. The way we hear things is so odd. You know, like you have speakers. You're hearing me through speakers right now. What's happening is there is a membrane that has a little magnet behind it. And then this little membrane has this magnet actuate like this, and then it does this. And in doing so, it literally creates pressure differentials within the air. Literally creates pockets where there is more dense air, and then pockets in which there is less dense air. And then as those dense slash less dense airs hit your ears, it starts to vibrate those little bones. And then you interpret that as information. Well, first it gets turned into like analog signals. Those analog signals enter your brain, and then those analog signals gets decoded into information. Each and every single one of us use words, but the words we use have literally our entire life's experience attached to them as well. So depending on the words I say and the way I'm saying them, it's technically, and this is maybe a little bit far out to say, but technically there is a different message being delivered to every single one of you friends. Because you are a little universe of your own. And in saying the things I do, it creates different patterns inside your universe. And the experience of it is completely divine and unique to you. You are worthy, Fred. Know that you are worthy. Absolutely, the pendulum swings both ways. The trick is to find awareness and the ascend above the pendulum. And then ascend above the pendulum. I'm still trying to do that, Uncle Becky. I'm still very much holding on to the pendulum, slowly climbing it upwards. And the thing is, well, when you're at the bottom of the pendulum, it still swings, but the swing isn't as extreme. You're like, oh, this is, I can vibe with this. And the higher you climb, the more the swing becomes. Is this analogy landing? I hope so. Can become more and more intense as you're trying to ascend. Maybe that's the point, Uncle Becky. Exactly. Ooh, yep, that resonates. Oh, it does. Uncle Becky, thank you. Thank you so much for co-creating with us, my man. Mr. Mampoer, what country are you from? Someone told me you're in Africa. Mr. Mampoer, ek het vir jou gesê ek is in Afrika. Soos gister. Oh nee, nie soos gister nie. Soos 4 dae terug of ietsie. Hey, ongelooflik dit is. Ek lewe in Suid-Afrika. Sometimes instinctively grab the pendulum and come in like a wrecking ball. It's time to go. It's time for me to go. I love all of you. Love and light being sent your way. Look forward to catching the rest of this lovely conversation later. Have the best day. Yater, if you're here on the YouTube, my friend. Sending you good vibes, dude. So many good vibes. Love you so much. Have a blessed day. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink unless you have a hat. I mean, your horse has to be thirsty, dude. Technically, you can make a horse drink. You just have to make sure he doesn't drink for an extended period of time. Hacker man. Yes, horse whisperer. Get your horse to drink by not allowing him to drink for an extended period of time. Then I can guarantee you he's going to want to drink. I can make the horse drink, and I can take it to the water. When you read the stable is for horses, it sounded a bit southern. Oh, okay. Labels are for stables. Stables are for horses. I wanna like lean into the southernness of it on D, but I don't know where to lean. Labels are for stables. Nope, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm feeling self-conscious on B. Don't look. Can you just paint your face white and put on some chapstick and tell me how you got these scars? I'm asking for an alter ego. Hopefully at some point, my friend. Like, if there's any role that I genuinely would love to play, it's the Joker, dude. Oh, goodness. Like, Heath Ledger is one of the most inspirational people to me when it comes to acting, and especially when it comes to his role as the Joker. Oh, goodness. Like, watching The Dark Knight Rises is an absolute masterpiece. Just if you're going to look at Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. You know, the hospital scene, their explosives actually didn't work. Where he, like, slaps the remote. That actually happened. He actually was confused as to why the bombs wasn't going off, and he literally saved it, like, on the spot. Oh, it's so cool. I love it so much. Thank you, friend, for like bringing that to my mind. And Katie, thank you for the hugs, my friend. How are you doing, Katie? We've been thinking about you. He's my Canon official Leaf Hedger. Yes, yes. Leaf Hedger. I like that actually. It's the Zen story. It's a bit long for this format. I would send it here, but that is a big a text block, lol. I mean, Aiden, we don't shy away from it, but I would, look forward to reading it in the Discord a little bit later as well. I think there was a fly in my hair. I just hear like. Let me out! Thank you for burning cash on me, friends. I appreciate your love, genuinely. Thank you so much. Need advice? Okay. Okay, I mean, I can't promise I can give good advice, Katie, but I'll try, my friend. Ask away. So, like, jelk and poke simultaneously. I don't know what jelking means. Jelk and poke. Jelk. New word. Please teach me, dude. I don't know what it means. I'm separated from my ex, but still living with him. He can't pay for the place himself, and keeps giving me excuses about having to talk to the landlord and stuff. Anyway, I asked when I can leave here because it's too painful. He doesn't know, but he says he's in a good place, but I'm fucking not. It feels selfish, but I feel bad leaving immediately. I mean, like, it's not something that's sustainable, Katie, right? Like, at this point, you have to realize that there has to be, like, a foot that needs to be put down. Because the way I've been perceiving, and I'm trying to give advice, of the limited informational set I have, is that he knows you're no longer together, and he's accepting of the fact that you're no longer together, but he's also not in the position to pay for the apartment you're staying in together by himself. And instead of, making plans to get a new apartment, to no longer be in the situation, he's just kind of banking on the fact that, yeah, this is the case, this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be for, X amount of time. Has he looked? Have you looked for a new place? I'm so sorry, Katie. We're here with you, my friend. But I just got here. Don't lose. Fuck yeah. Damn, you quitter. Oh shit, I'm so thirsty. Hehe. He read it. Yes, friend. I mean, you're confusing me a little bit though, but love to you nonetheless. The multiverse idea is something that fascinated me since I was maybe 8 years old. Hitmine is very complex. Yetmine is very complex, I'm guessing. His mind. I'm not sure. Essentially, a universe exists for each choice we made, and for each person that lives lives or lived, and also one for each person not living, and then it goes on and on and on. So I think, was I? No, I don't think I was 8. I think maybe I was like 9 or 10 when I started thinking about stuff like that as well. And I remember, like, I think I read it somewhere. I can't even remember where I read it, but I remember coming to school and taking out a packet of jelly tots, and it's like these pieces of candy. And then I mentioned that on this packet of jelly tots, I can choose to tear this corner off or tear this corner off. And in tearing one of those corners off, I'm basically creating like a fractal reality within which that side is torn off. But in tearing this side off, there is a fractal reality being created for where I tear the other side off. And then there's also technically could be the reality in which I don't tear either of the sides off, or I tear both of the sides off. And my friends were like, okay, and I was like, don't you think that's weird? They're like, no. I'm like, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand. Wholesome Momoni. Love to you, though. Love to you, my friend. It's not selfish to want to get out of that situation. You and he broke up for a reason. He can't expect you to stick around for him anymore. You owe it to your personal mental health to leave, and you shouldn't beat yourself up over it. I am 100% in agreement with Edmund as well. Thank you, buddy, for reading it. Leaf Hedger, always. Leaf Hedger indeed, my friend. Love to you, though. Thank you, dude. Okay, Katie, that really does make things hard. Familiarity is comfortable. I do encourage you to not let comfort be the standard, though. Bless your caring heart. Bless your caring heart indeed, Katie. The fact that you have stayed for as long as you have It just shows to all of us how loving you are, how compassionate you are to your ex's situation. But I mean, as compassionate as you are, you can't be expected to stay so indefinitely, right? Like living together for the next 60 years because you're compassionate wouldn't be sustainable either. So things will have to change, but I'm sure you'll have it, my friend. We have Harley Quinn. Hey, Melty, love you, buddy. Peace and light to you all. And peace and light to you as well, my friend. Are you still streaming, Harley? It's been forever, my friend. We've missed you. Thank you for joining us here. He makes me feel like I'm leaving him on his ass, but I am fucking miserable. I mean, it's not like there is no other apartment. Like, I also don't know the situation. Again, so limited, so limited with my information. I just wish I had more. More info. What? Oh, goodness. I tripped out for a second. I saw a piece of wood that looked like my staff, and it was a lot shorter than it was supposed to be. So it's like, people, did someone cut my staff in pieces? My old roommate was on set working for Dark Knight Rises when they were filming back in 2008. Go to try his longboard. Heath was really nice to all of the crew. It's an absolute shame that he passed away so early. Hmm. He kind of lost it playing the role as well. He became so method that he became a little bit crazy playing the Joker as well. Is that gaslighting? He makes me feel like I'm leaving him on the ass, and I'm fucking. I don't actually know what gaslighting means. Unfortunately, Jovan, I've heard it so many times. Don't gaslight me. Gaslighting. I think gaslighting is when you're pretending that someone is overreacting or being stupid about something or doesn't know what they're talking about, or like I'm really confused. If you want to teach me, please do. Sure. Looking good, gang. Thank you, Zorro. That's so nice of you to say, my friend. It's been a while. Sending you love. Looking like a narcissist. Sounds like a narcissist. Who won't be willing to change unless he's left with no choice. He's making you feel guilty so he can keep living the way he is and want you to feel like the bad guy. You're not. Thank you, my friends, for giving this advice as well. I feel like we're definitely resonating with one another about our opinions about this, so I hope it helps, Katie. Yes, I'm looking. I want to go stay with my mom, but I'm literally just here now. We barely talk, and he has moved on with his life, and he expects me to stay till he's not sure when. He says separate couples live together all the time, but I hate it. I'm guessing you're gonna say. Yeah. I can't think that it must be comfortable at all, my friend. Thank you, Doe, for the silver and for the this. Tear it up! Fracture my university, homie. Goodness. I don't know what that means, but fracturing your university. This I think he might suffer a little from that and other emotional suppression issues. He says just cause he doesn't cry about it doesn't mean it's hard, but I just feel like he's already steamrolled past me. Like Katie, I can say this with some certainty. Him being masculine, like, it is going to be one of those moments where he pretends to just steamroll past it. Because that is the way that men try and deal with things. Instead of sitting with our emotions and feeling them and being present with what happened, we try and go do something else. Go do something, no matter what it is. And in doing that, we both rob ourselves. I'm like speaking to us men, if you will. We both rob ourselves of the possibility to grow, and also rob ourselves of the ability to, gain some sort of clarity or closure within that as well. And unfortunately, inevitably, if you don't spend some time with your feelings, especially when it comes to feelings of like breaking up with someone, you're gonna have to deal with it eventually, Katie. Don't worry, my friend. You're doing okay. Because just because you're still hurting doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you or he is doing better than you. It doesn't matter what others do. You don't have to stay in a place that makes you feel bad. I agree completely. You're beautiful, Katie. I see it in you. I want to see your love light burn bright. Be with people that help you ignite. Ooh, that's beautiful, Jovan. That's so beautiful, my friend. Oh, that's genuinely beautiful. I mean, give him a deadline, Katie, if anything. Tell him in 2 weeks you're going to your mom's place. Like, tell him that's how it is. Like, you being under his thumb until I don't know when. Fuck no. No. Hell no. You give him a time and you're like, this is when it's gonna happen. If you're ready or not, here I come. Or here I go, if you will. Meld, I'm so happy to catch you. How are you? The Theo Darkly. Thank you for joining us, my friend. So, the OG Darkly Manor is also a streamer friend. He has this beautiful beard. He has these compassionate eyes. I'm doing well, my friend. I'm so happy to have you here as well. Thank you for joining us. Salty says hey hey as well. Sorry for hijacking the stream. Thank you guys. Hijack away, Katie. There is no taking anything from us. We're the ones giving to you. While it can be difficult, that's not because of the good person you are, and it seems like he's taking advantage of you. At a certain point, you have to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Ninja Banana, you're dropping some good wisdom today, my friend. Thank you so much for co-creating with us. No, you. Thank you. Seems like a lifetime ago. College. Thank you. I appreciate this. You're appreciated, Katie. You deserve all of the love in the world, my friend. Don't apologize, Katie. I'm feeling for you, and I hope you can get free of this manipulation soon. I hate to see you so miserable. We have these feelings towards you and for you as well. We're here with you, Katie. You're loved, my friend. Know at least that you're loved in this space, if anything. Oh, sorry, Sierra Katie. I personally love the opportunity to be here with you in this. Same. Absolutely same. You guys are gonna make me cry. Cry, Katie. You deserve to cry as well, my friend. Crying can be so freeing. Like when I genuinely want to cry, crying away just makes my heart feel something. It can be both devastating and opening at the same time. You deserve to cry as well, my friend. We love you so much. You can be masculine and manly and still be a feeling, emotional human being. It all comes back to the lack of wanting to do so. I agree completely, Edmund. But I want to attach onto what you just said, because I do agree with what you're saying. The fact that we live in a society in which the wanting to do so is discouraged in a lot of ways. Like from a very young age, the wanting to do so is met with like disdain. If you try and express yourself, if you try and communicate why it is you're uncomfortable or not enjoying life at the moment, then you're basically silenced. You're like, no, we don't, like, big boys, don't complain about these things or this or that. And it becomes this whole societal based illusion we fall into. And I do think it has, partly to do it has something, at least in part, to do with the fact that we are, testosterone fueled in some way, where testosterone does create sense of confidence within a masculine being. Even for women. Like if women start taking testosterone supplements, for example, they become, one, more sexually active, and two, more confident. And that is literally men 101, like base level. Confident sexual energy, just prowling. And it's horrible because men, all of us, are so much more than just that. But when you become completely attached to that part of yourself, you don't allow yourself to feel. And I think it has something to do, as you're saying, Edmund, with the want to or not. But I feel some people almost get robbed of the ability to want to sometimes, based on how they're brought up. Don't worry at all. We gotcha. We all have difficult patches in life, but we are here for each other. That is the one thing we can count on, at least, Aiden. It makes me so happy. Not sure if this comment is coming through. It is now, Aaron. But if you can afford it, you should get your own place and move out. And if it feels good, give him a month's rent. It's his responsibility to figure his life out, and he's financially taking advantage of you technically right now. Like you sent the same message twice, and I'm curious if you're gonna finish it, Aaron. I'm just guessing, yeah, he's taking financial advantage of you. I agree as well. I mean, it's difficult, to just give a month's worth of rent away on top of you having to pay a month's worth of rent. So that's not necessarily an option for everybody, but I mean, it's a possible one. It's a likely one. We love you, Aaron. Thank you, my friend. And thank you for the love, Theo. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm fucking tired, and I'm working to give him money because I can't get myself to leave now, because I don't want to be I don't want it to be a bad ending, but it is already but it is already, isn't it? Yeah, I was about to say, Katie. You're talking about you don't want it to be a bad ending, but I'm like, my brother. Can you turn it off, please? Thank you. Yeah, Katie, like the ending is only gonna get worse the longer you stay. Unfortunately, we don't try and talk about negative things, but there is no scenario, like, I'm like projecting, obviously right now, but in his mind, the possible scenarios can be you seeing him move on, you become jealous, you trying to get back with him happily ever after, possibility, and that him wanting that can only lead to, at least in my egoic way of understanding the scenario, to things only getting worse and worse, because not getting what he could want could only lead to more resentment, could only lead to more, potential reasons to fight about things, potential reasons to be at each other's throats. I think getting out of there is going to be the best thing for you, my friend. Take care. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm 90% sure he's over 5'8", ladies. Yeah. So better check. No. No, friend. Very much not. For a while now, I've said being a man is about your actions, not your gender. I know women who are more manly than a number of guys, in a good way. They raise their children while working and supporting their family as they grow. I agree completely with that, Ninja. That's beautiful, actually. Being a man is about your actions, not about your gender. Again, like in that way of saying it, like there is this moment within me that I feel we're using the word man as that is what to strive for, right? Oh, man up. Oh, be a man. Oh, that is great, man, right? Human. Like, I think we shouldn't use man. We should just use divinity instead. So for a while now, I've said divinity is about your actions, not your gender. I know women who are more divine than a number of guys in a good way. They raise their children while working and supporting their children as they grow. I think it's about divinity, not so much about gender. Because that purity that all of us have access to is within all of us, apart from our sexuality, apart from our bodies, apart from our names. It's something we can align ourselves with. And our actions is like the loudest way to say that as well. You're completely right, my friend. Glitches. Yeah, I don't know what's best, but just felt mad for you and had to rant. No, please do rant, Aaron. This is what it's about, my friend. Me, I do, sir, working night shift all weekend. Yeah, I'm also not sure where that came from, Ninja. I'm just like, okay, just skipping past it. I completely agree. However, I don't know that makes the women manly, as men aren't the only ones capable of working and raising children, if you know what I mean. I think the problem is yeah, we label things as manly versus not. You said the exact same thing I was feeling as well, Edmund. Divine instead. I think divine is the better word for that. Instead of just doing the things we want / need to or know is right. Masculinity and feminine properties is another whole can of worms for my brain. Like, what makes it what? Whoa, what makes it what it is? Masculinity versus femininity. I mean, if you've read The Way of the Superior Man, call out to Aaron a little bit, there's a lot of mention about masculine and feminine energies, where it would like talk about the planet, the physicality of the planet, as being masculine, as being supportive, as being base almost. And then the femininity, like base and also, I want to say, defeated, right? Like a planet can be seen as pretty barren. And then the femininity would be all of the life that we see, including ourselves as humans. We would be more aligned with the femininity of this world than we are aligned with the masculinity of this world. The wind, also feminine because it has this moving nature to it. Like the way that David Data talks about masculinity and femininity might help a little bit, Jovan, but it's also, as you're saying, a whole can of worms that's too difficult to get into, or with any certainty say this is how it is, or this is how it is. Fair enough. I've just seen a number of men getting a number of girls pregnant and not taking any sort of accountability. Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting and appalling, and just, disappointing for humanity as well. Man, we're back to labels, which are stables, which are for horses. Yes, Bob, I agree completely. Divinity is better than man or woman. Oh no, I absolutely understand and agree with your sentiment, my friend. There we go. Can I ask where you are from? I'm having a hard time placing your accent for sure. Cleopatra, I'm from South Africa, friend. It's nice to meet you. We have Darkly here as well. Good morning, Melton friends. Good morning to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. This is how it do be, how it be. Though it do be the way it be sometimes. And we be right in the middle of it. Good morning, Fran. Good morning to every single one of you friends. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. I hope you go out into the world and just show one person, just a single person, that love is true. No matter how you do it, no matter if you're doing it online or doing it in physicality, if you're doing it for your immediate family members or for someone you're working with, just in whatever way, show them that love is true. Thank you, friends, for showing me that love is true. May the story dreams let you weep. I'm gonna skip that one though. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.